Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Scraptember and 30 Days of Sketches, Day 11. Here is the sketch and our prompt is enamel dots or Nuvo. And I'm combining this with Scrap 5. And our 5 for this month are a punch, paper tearing, metallic, brads, and washi. So I will be incorporating all of those on there. I am just going to my inventory binder there, my little mixed media binder, and looking at all of the Nuvo drops that I currently have in my stash. This is how I can quickly see what I have color-wise. It works for me, and I start pulling out some of the colors that are in this collection. And the collection that I'm using is the Cocoa Vanilla Studios Sunkissed. You guys know that I hoard it. I hoard all Cocoa Vanilla products. And in order to not hoard, I have decided that I have to use it and I have to make myself. So I have that We Are Memory Keepers project tray cart, and I always have it full. So there's 6 layouts that I have that are in my queue to go, and I have one of them with this collection at all times. So I force myself to use it because if it's on that, then it's for that day, that video. So the sketch calls for 4 photos. I believe I'm going to get, 6, 7, or 8 photos on here. This is my stepdaughter, Whitney, and this is the cutest little story. We're at the mini golf place, and this is the end of day 3, so we are almost on to day 4 of vacation, which is Universal Studios. Ta-da! And I have lots of pictures. But anyway, me and my husband did not have cash on us, and she was looking at that. She really wanted to get in the wind tunnel, the hurricane simulator, and my son was like, "Here, Whitney, I have some cash." And so he totally paid for his stepsister to ride in the simulator. And then he did it, which was really funny because her, you can totally tell because her hair is blowing all over the place, and he just looks like he's standing in a glass tube. So I decided to use this cut file from Confessions of a Paper Addict in order to get the wreath, and it has the half floral on it. And I'm going to glue that to this beautiful pattern paper, and then I'm going to fussy cut that out. I'm going to use this blue wavy one for my background because it's pretty. And I used one full 12 by 12 sheet up and just a little bit of this. So I'm going to roughly cut around my cut file and put that to the side to use for another layout. And then I'm going to take my small, close to my heart little scissors and do the cutting. But right here I'm going to back all of my photos that I cut down to 2 by 2. You can tell she's in a hurricane simulator, so I'm totally fine with just, getting her all these photos. So I cut them all out so they have a white background. Now here I'm showing you how I do cut out a cut file. You seen I glued it down, I let it dry, and I take my scissors and I pop them in on an angle. I'm kind of struggling there, and I just get them on an angle and just cut underneath, but you got to be sure not to go too far underneath because then you cut too far. So I'm using the first item from Scrap 5, and it is a punch. So I'm going to take that and punch out the cut off, what I cut off of the paper that I backed the cut file in, and punch some flowers. Some of them weren't full flowers, but I'm going to stick them in. So now I'm going to line the empty part of the wreath that doesn't have any flowers with photos of her and just kind of tuck them in. I'm seeing how many I have and how many I need. And I've got just a general idea of what I'm going to do there. So we are going to push all of those off the page, and I realize that I'm going to use the flowers, so I push them all off, and I need to get my cut file glued down. So I just use my ATG on the floral part that I backed, and I'm going to stick that down to the layouts. And I'm not going to worry about the circle because I'm going to glue stuff on top of it, which will hold that in place. See, I was thinking about doing it, and I'm like, no, we don't need to worry about that because all of these pictures are going to hold that part down, and it's going to go in a page protector, so it's going to be okay. So I just decided to do 3, 3, and 2. So yeah, I have 8 photos. And I'm going to start adhering these all to the page. So while I'm getting that done and starting the embellishment process, I want to remind you that today is for 2 separate hops. First of all, we have Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches, which is done by Christy over at Christy's Beautiful Life. She hosts the 30 Days of Sketches several times throughout the year, and for September, she joined forces with the Scrappy sisters, Katie and Jess, and Laura Albert for their fun September month-long series, which is Scraptember. So every day we get a prompt and a cut file. Some people are playing along with just the sketch, some just the prompt, some both. Some people are going every day and some are not, but we will have everyone listed in the master list so you can check them out and see what they have going on. This is also for Scrap 5, so I will have all my Scrappy 5 peeps down below, where we each use the same 5 items and however we want. So I'm going to go ahead and I popped the flowers in, and I've got them all used up into the openings of the cut file where the pictures aren't. And we are going to get my title on, which is metallic, so that takes care of 2. I also pulled out some metallic washi, so it was like a double whammy there. So the title is simply going to be Get Happy. It made sense. I'm going to put on some little glittery puffy hearts from this sheet as well, just to spread the glittery metallic around the page. And I basically, where there's a flower, there's a heart. So I'm going to come in now and pull out a sheet of white cardstock. I want to use these clear stickers, but the color is going to get lost on the blue background, so I'm just sticking them on a white piece of cardstock. I'm going to fussy cut them out, and they will become die cuts that I will pop around the page. So I just pulled some flowers and some leaves, put those back in there, and then I'm going to roughly cut that around. Now I don't make you watch me cut those all out. And I decided that I want to come in with some Brutus Monroe Chroma Mist in Pearl. I'm going to water it down just a little bit because I kind of want it to fade into the background, you guys. So I just used my paintbrush and some water, and I covered up the photos, and I'm going to flick it all around and create some fun little glitter. Also a metallic. Check. And I do move my packaging so that I can get some of the areas like that I feel like need to have it, just so it's all splattered up. And then I kind of just really take a chance and I go for it. So I'm going to stick these other flowers in next to the punched out flowers along with the leaves, just to add pops of color all around the circle and not just have the pink. And get that done. And then I'm going to come in with the washi. Now I'm going to take this and put it on just a scrap that I had. I'm going to make sure it's straight. I put both of them on there. Then I'm going to cut that out. I struggled. I was trying not to get my head in the way, but I was trying to make a straight line, and that's a lot harder than you think. My problem with washi tape is I stretch it so far that it actually curves the paper. I know. So I'm going to trim the excess off after I, really mess with it a lot. Just going to trim the excess off of each side. And then I'm going to cut this down, and then I'm going to realize, well, that was insane, Rebecca Ann. You needed to leave something. You needed to leave a little white border. So we're going to fix the curve, and I'm going to adhere it to the remnants of that white piece of scrap. So used another piece of my scrap, right? I'm going to go ahead and adhere it right down to that. And then I'm going to come in with another one of the Scrap 5 prompts, which is paper tearing. And I'm just going to tear the bottom off of this pattern paper. So I'm just going to roughly tear it. It goes a little wonky and a little crazy, but I think it really finishes the layout off when I get done with it. So I'm just going to get it right in there just to add a bit of a border. on the bottom, like a shelf, and everything's sitting on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere my layout down to it. Now I will pull out my, I'm going to use the rest of this washi tape. That's all there was on that roll. So I feel like call that a win, but I'm just making sure that it stayed down. I'm going to break out my cutter, and I'm going to trim the top off just a smidge because I realized I was going to pretty much cut everything off of that bottom washi. And I was like, well, wasn't quite what I was going for, but you can totally tell. So now we have the punch done, the paper tearing done, the metallic, and the washi done. I'm going to come in with these puffy stickers and just stick on a few little puffy items, hide them behind those little flowers because there's a bicycle, and I think that annoys people when I put random things on my layout. You know, and I'm okay if there is something that I do that totally annoys you and you want to give me a thumbs down, because I've had some thubbies bring it to my attention that I keep getting thumbs down, and to be honest with you guys, I don't pay attention. I didn't know that I had thumbs down on my videos until I had a couple of subscribers that have said some things. All I have to say is, if you're going to give me a thumbs down, tell me why. Or are you just like a hater? Because I've had someone that gave me a thumbs down on one of my premieres, which a premiere doesn't do anything but tell you that a video is coming. So I'm thinking I just got a hater out there that's just really miserable in life. And I'm like, hey, if you got to hate on me and makes yourself feel better, I'm happy to help. So I'm going to pull out my brad container, and I'm going to put brads on to complete the scrap 5. And I'm just going to make centers of those 3 or 4 flowers. Or 3. Did I miss one? Well, maybe that's why I keep getting thumbs down, because I believe, yeah, I missed one, but I'm okay with it. I will, maybe I'll go back and edit. Maybe I won't. I don't really know. But yeah, I missed that one big flower down there. My hand's covering it now. So I'm going to come in with my Nuvo drops now to finish off my prompt for Scraptember. And I'm going to put pink, yellow, and blue. And I'm going to make several clusters of these 3 together. Now I am just squeezing it off to the side on my fabulous Glassboard Studio Craft glass mat. Just in case it splooges, I'd rather have it splooge on the glass, not my layout. But I'll have a link and a 20% off code if you use Rebecca20 at Glassboard Studios. You'll get 20% off anything in their store. All right, I'm just showing you that I got everything on there. I will see you guys tomorrow for another layout. Don't forget to check everyone else out. Bye.